to everyone and welcome for this very interesting roundtable about inclusive fintech. So it's about real impact and real stories from the field. And for that, I'm delighted to welcome Yasser Shaker. Hello, hi.
How are you?
Yeah, very fine, thank you. So you're CEO Orange Africa and Middle East. Welcome. Mathias Léopoldie. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. You're CEO and co-founder of the startup Julaya. Elizabeth Tchoungui. Hi and welcome. You're Executive Director of CSR and Environment at Orange. And Batiana Ismaail Franck Nacro. You're CEO and founder of the startup TerraBiga. So I will start with a very simple question, which is all for you. We can start like this. What does exactly inclusive fintech mean for you? A short definition.
You want to start?
Maybe
Ladies first.
Yes. Who wants to start?
Ladies, I was
Ladies first.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Very glad to be here. Fintech and inclusion, it starts first with connectivity, because without connectivity, there is no possibility of financial inclusion. So that means that it's a way to reduce inequalities, to give opportunities of making business for everyone, even the most vulnerable population. And so, yes, it is really about giving the tools to everyone to get the most of financial fintech. But I can quote an example after, but you ask short question, short answer. I'll develop later.
The interesting thing is we understand it gives a lot of opportunities for this financial time. Yeah, please, Batiana.
Yes, so for me, inclusion is, fintech is inclusive almost by definition, because the goal is to make financial services more accessible thanks to technology. But I think we need to make things clear, because for me, it's not about just creating digital banks for people that don't trust banks or are not familiar with banks. It's more than that. It's how we understand how people already interact, because they already have financial behavior. So it's how we give that behavior the right infrastructure to thrive.
Okay, for you, Mathias, it's also a matter about infrastructure and the people you involve?
Yes, I'll add a little bit, because a lot has already been said.
Yeah.
But for me, and if you take like 20 years ago, when you said inclusion, that would mean tackling people that are not profitable for investors, because you would reach people that are excluded from the financial systems with technologies that may be not profitable or like necessitate a lot of investment. But then you've seen the mobile money revolution, where we could access like millions of people. Just one example, in Côte d'Ivoire, less than 2 million bank accounts, more than 25 million mobile money wallets.
Okay.
And now today, inclusion, I think, is also paired with profitability, meaning you can reach people and give people access to financial services in a profitable manner.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing this very concrete example. So you want to add something, of course, yes, sir, to conclude.
I'll try to say. I think, first of all, Africa is different. Africa is a young population, 45% unbanked population, and it's a mobile first. So we have more mobiles, and we always had this more than terrestrial. And so you said opportunity.
Yeah.
So it's a big opportunity. Then on fintech, I believe it's around paying. You need to have something that will pay, transfer, insure. You need to have insurance inside of it. You need to have credit or borrowing, ability to borrow, either from an entrepreneur, but also for a basic farmer that just needs to buy his seeds and then pay it back by end of the day or by next week or when he sells his crop. So it's this basic service that is a very simple customer experience way that will avail this fintech to everybody else.
So it's very helpful for a lot of people. Let's just come back a little bit to inclusion and to the DNA of Orange. It's at the heart of the strategy of the group. Why is it so central, Elizabeth?
Absolutely, it's totally at the heart of the group's DNA, and particularly of our new strategic plan across the future, both internally and externally. Internally, it's very simple. You cannot solve all the challenges, the growing challenges of our uncertain world with people that look like each other, with people that think the same, that think together the same things, that doesn't come from diverse backgrounds. So that's why we are, for instance, very committed into gender equality in our management also. Our CEO, Christelle, is very pushy about this, and she's right.
Yeah, about gender equality, it was the subject yesterday, exactly.
And absolutely. And of course, externally, inclusion is about our business. We have to enlarge our customer base, and so of course we have, and we are so committed to our communities strongly. So just one example of how fintech can really change lives of people, and but there are some conditions. We have a fantastic program in Liberia with ONU Femmes. And we designed a platform called Buy From Women. The idea is to help women from rural communities, not far to Monrovia yet, to sell their products easily. But first, they had to learn how to write and count, then how to use a phone, how to use mobile money. We trained them in our Orange Digital Center, the program. We launched like 50 Orange Digital Centers across Africa to develop digital skills for people. And so in the end, thanks to this platform, the first year, $100,000 of revenue for rural women who didn't even know how to read, thanks to fintech. And it's about empowerment. One of them wanted to run for mayor, the first woman mayor in the village. So, of course, sending kids to school, etc. So it's systemic. It's a game changer.
It's a real game changer and a real concrete, beautiful story. I believe all those stories are resonating with your area. We were just speaking about Middle East and Africa, so it's a huge priority to you too.
Yes, first of all, we work around 18 countries. And in all our 18 countries, we believe it's a great opportunity, again, to use everything that's around fintech. So today, just to give you an example, Orange Money, we have more than 50 million active customers who use us each month. We transfer over 20 billion. Imagine this number, 20 billion of euros per month.
Okay.
So we transfer and we deal with over 20 billion euros of months of transactions. We have a super app, which is called Maxit, exactly, where we have close to 20 million, in fact, more than 20 million, and we're even targeting to reach 75 million over the next coming 3 years.
Super app giving strong opportunities too?
Yes, of course. Again, Africa is different than Europe. Africa is a mobile first. Everybody's using his mobile to do everything. They not go home, connect to their desktop or to connect to it's a completely different setup. So people are used to that. Even the KYC is done wirelessly and done over mobile. So it's a huge opportunity. And for Maxit, we believe it's an e-commerce platform. You can have value-added services like TV. You can have gaming on top of it.
So it's
a huge opportunity that is a whole ecosystem that runs there. I always give an example of infrastructure and roads. You know, when you build a road, if there is no cars, it's useless. If there is no fuel, it's useless. If there is no destination to drive to, it's useless. So yes, we're in the infrastructure business, but we don't only build roads. We build roads, we ensure people have devices to use it, application that makes sense for them, affordability and affordable to use the service that will deliver to them.
So you centralize everything and each services. And
yes, we create an ecosystem that works.
And you are there at each level. That's the most interesting part.
Exactly.
And maybe we can see what's happening from the startups part, because you are really doing it very concretely. When you are pitching inclusion, for example, you are looking for some investors, both of you. Is that a plus, or sometimes it's difficult to pitch it?
So from my side, inclusion helps us to define the scale of the opportunity. As what Yasser said, 40 to 50% of sub-Saharan African don't have access to a bank account. So it's around 300 to 400 million of people. So it's a huge number. So for an investor, I believe that it's a market to serve. And to address it, we need more collaboration and to make sure that it's more accessible to anyone on the continent. So for an investor, I would say that if we have investor here today, you should invest in fintechs in Africa because it's the next big thing. It's a big and huge business opportunity with extensive impact. So don't hesitate.
And on your side, Mathias, is it also a great business opportunity?
Yes, I think as we did in the first part, inclusion now rhymes with opportunity. And when Yasser said 50 million people have Orange money in Africa, there are still 1.2 billion people that need Orange money. So Orange can grow still a lot and has a lot of opportunity, but maybe sometimes for the fintech applications cannot serve all the use cases. And this is one of the spaces that we explore, for example, the B2B side, transfer to mobile wallets, but there are like many spaces because there are like new technologies like stable coins, like some particular like digital lending, etc., where this infrastructure is very solid, has a lot of regulation, compliance, and security, obligations or boundaries, and can play with the fintech to actually explore new opportunities.
So you are really changing the business's day-to-day routine, actually. That's the interesting thing. And just to close, back to you, Batiana. You will collaborate with Maxit, I think, also quite soon.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So we are in the process of integrating the super app Maxit, which will allow us to reach a larger audience and maybe be able to be in 18 countries where this app is available. So yes, it can definitely close the gap of the financial inclusion if we collaborate.
Okay, so I understand, as you all told, lots of people don't have access to a mobile. Is there not maybe a risk to leave the non-digital natives behind? How can you manage this, Elizabeth?
Absolutely, this is the major challenge now. The first one was connectivity, of course,
Yeah.
but in Europe, but on Africa, there's a lot of progress on connectivity. On some regions without connectivity, there are satellite opportunities now. So the main challenge is the affordability of the devices. And regarding inclusion, we also know that women are less equipped with devices than men in Africa. So we're working, for instance, to solve that. We're working, for instance, with World Bank to subsidize devices for women. So the challenge was, how can we prove that the woman get the device and then the husband take the device? So thanks to the wallet, because we will create a wallet at the name of the woman, so it's more difficult then, and so we're working on World Bank with the GSMA. It's really the next challenge for inclusion.
So you are creating very specific tools, actually. That's also the very interesting part. From the point of view, so of course, Orange, you have big scales. It's a huge company. Startups are very agile. When you work with the startups, what are the challenges? What are the good opportunities? What makes the right match between you and the startups?
So first of all, when you say Orange has scale, it does not mean that we don't have agility, I hope.
I hope the startups have scales too.
Yes,
but,
at least in OME, I think we have some agility.
Yeah.
So having said so, I think at the end of the day, it was said very clearly, we give this many elements. First of all, it's everything that's around incubation. Today, we offer a huge opportunity for startups on incubation, on to help them and to guide them, either on the financial side or on the business side, how to run and how to grow their business. Then when they are really able to, we connect them directly to Maxit, we connect them directly to Orange Money, where they have an ability for customers to pay and also to offer their services. So it's like a gateway where they can already offer everything to suddenly 50 million, 100 million, 20 million, depending on the platform, and to offer their services, while being able also to collect the money that they are getting. So of course, what we're doing now is, and we're investing in many startups that you're seeing today, and we have some of them here, and we partner a lot with them. We're very proud of them. So it's a great opportunity for them and for us to leverage on this partnership.
Can we reveal you have a lot of startups that are coming to you through the Orange Digital Centers, and I believe you cannot take all of them. So you have lots of people who are trying to be part of the story?
Yes, of course. We have a Orange Venture setup, which goes and checks all the startups. And then we have two types. Either we help them without going into their capital,
Okay.
or we sometimes even go into their capital and also accompany them. So it's two models. And of course, sometimes we say, okay, we don't have enough capacity or bandwidth to do everything. But for sure, we have the two models. Either we invest directly in their capital, or we just help them and to help them to grow and then do partnerships with them.
Okay, here we have two different models. One is more junior, one more
Just
senior.
to give you a number, it's around $50 million that we have in this Orange venture for today
Oh,
to invest in startups.
okay, so there's
Africa.
a lot of work on track. From your side, Mathias, you are working for more than 5-6 years with Orange altogether, so you can maybe give us a little feedback. What are you expecting, or what do you like working with Orange, and what are you expecting now from them?
So our relationship with Orange dates back, I think, by 2021. So in 2021, Orange Ventures, the venture capital arm investment of Orange, invested in the company. And this is the moment where I think Orange had reached, with Orange money, a certain size where they would partner with other fintech because they would see like they could open their infrastructure to other fintech. And so they released some APIs, payment APIs to accept payments, but also to send money to the mobile money wallets. And this is when we integrated the APIs with them. And since then, we've been working. We had a call yesterday with the team from Orange Money Côte d'Ivoire, Orange Money Senegal, for the new technologies, because the market is evolving fast. Especially, you've seen the interoperability play that has been, changing the landscape of some emerging countries like India, like Brazil. And a lot of countries, I think half of the countries now in Africa have an interoperability switch in place. It's not like, fully developed in all of the markets, but for example, in our region, the central bank is pushing for that. And this is changing a lot of the business model. And Orange is adapting fast and, changing their APIs, etc. So we expect more collaboration and, of course, like developing new technologies with them.
Okay, that seems to be the right place to do it here at VivaTech right now. Elizabeth, you told us about the tool, but is there also, how can you measure the real impact of inclusion? How can that be? It's sometimes difficult, maybe.
There are many different ways to measure our impact. With our innovation teams, we develop a specific tool to measure our impact. We also conducted socio-economic footprint studies, and for instance, a very relevant study showed that, for instance, in Senegal, Orange represents 11% of the GDP when we take all the activities generating in the Orange ecosystem, the sellers and in remote areas, etc. So this is huge. And then we can also monitor, measure our impact thanks to that. Thanks to the data, thanks to Orange Money. I give you one example. You wanted at the beginning stories from the field. We have a business unit called Orange Energy that brings in rural areas connectivity, solar panels, energy distribution is in a pay-as-you-go model. So this is inclusion also. And so, of course, imagine a village where there were before no connectivity, no electricity. Then there are new generating income activities that can be settled. And so, for instance, we had subsidies from the World Bank because they wanted on a result-based financing model because we had to prove the impact. And it was easy because with Orange Money, it was easy for us to monitor, to measure the increasing the volume of the transactions, the amounts of the transactions also higher. So that means that people manage to settle income revenue activities. So again, it's all about empowering, and we're able to measure it.
Yeah, and maybe this model can help others too, or can be replicable. Batiana, when we prepared this roundtable, you told me also it's interesting for you to work with Orange because you work on the local side always, and with the local needs that you have. That is important to you.
Yes, exactly. It's really important to us, and especially because our goal is to reach people that are in underserved area, with low connectivity, little literacy. So working with Orange help us also reach that people And I will give you an example. We worked with the United Nations in Burkina Faso, supporting the construction of a maternity that was funded by the local community. And something interesting we saw is that people within the community were helping each other using the platform to sign up for the project because it was a shared goals. So someone without internet, someone without a smartphone was helped by someone else within the community. So this is inclusion, and this is trust based on word of mouth. Is more powerful than any ads you could have. So, and this is also based by Orange Money transactions, which are available almost in the entire country.
It's a perfect illustration of the whole ecosystem you told me just at the beginning. Maybe before asking you the last question, we have a big audience. If anyone wants to ask a question in the audience, it's possible to one of our speakers. I give you the mic. You just have to come here. No? So, okay, you're sure, but we have still time for questions if you want. Yeah, we are now at VivaTech edition 2026, and maybe you want all of you make a commitment when we speak about inclusive fintech. I hear there are a lot of things on track, a lot of things happening. How do you see the future? Yes, sir.
Wow, a good question. How do I see the future?
Right.
I see the future is bright. We're very committed to Africa, so I really trust, which is our name of the program, I trust that we'll be able to do great. I trust in the skills that we have in Africa. I trust in the future of Africa. Having said so, I believe also in startups. Startups are very important for us, for the ecosystem. And I like a lot the point of that they need to really focus on the underserved, the first-time users, because there is a lot of first-time users in our region, which means that they need to really focus on the customer experience. Customer experience is key. If it's basic, if it's easy, people will adopt it.
That's why it's so important to have pedagogy, and to be there at the right moment and to help them to take them by the hands. Yes, the first time. Okay.
So again, if we have the right startups that will help and work with us on the customer experience and the first-time users, we're committed. Our commitment is to train 3 million on the African content, on the technologies of tomorrow until 2030. So it's a big commitment. It's free of charge that we're going to be doing that. And we're committed to invest in Africa. We're investing 5 billion euros of CapEx over the next coming 3 years. So I think we have a huge commitment that shows also how promising we believe in Africa and how much we trust Africa.
Okay, so huge investments. Mathias, on your side, what do you expect for the next year, or maybe 2-3 next years?
Yeah, we expect fintech to still grow. There's still a lot of things to do. And I think most of the time people would say the big fintech player, they are slow, Orange Money is slow, etc. But they don't realize that when you're building in the financial services, you're not a normal company. Because you have a central bank, you have a license, and there's a lot of rules that normal companies don't have that you have to abide by. So you cannot launch products, out of the blue like you would do in e-commerce or in less regulated areas. So one of the things for us when we started 2018, it was very hard to get partnerships. And at some point, Orange had reached like this size where they would be more open to working with other fintechs, not building everything in-house. So our commitment, now we have like some licenses in Ivory Coast, in Senegal, in Benin. So to the fintech entrepreneurs that are in the room and that need some like licensing, sponsorship or coverage, we are happy to welcome them, help them work with Orange and build new financial products with the regulatory help that we can do.
So the commitment is made, and it's very interesting to say that this inclusive fintech has more rules than maybe some other businesses. So what is your commitment for the next years here?
For the next year, you can trust Orange because we will be there, always there to support the ecosystem of innovation. And so fintech in Africa, it starts with the skills. We are committed to train 3 million by 2030 young people on AI, on data, on cyber, to build also a trustful ecosystem, to give everyone the opportunity of the adventures of digital without the risks, cyber attacks, etc. Committed also always to inclusion, using AI, for example, AI for impact. By instance, we are developing large language models in Wolof, Swahili, Lingala, because yes, in rural areas, some people don't speak French or English or Portuguese, etc., and they can use all the benefits of the digital world. So yes, this is our commitment, and of course we will keep going supporting the ecosystem of startups. More than 500 yet accompanied, and many more to come.
So very local, engaged again, and it's interesting because they showed at the Orange Open Tech the Maxit application with Wolof, how it will be for translation and all those languages. From your part, Batiana, your commitment.
So I'm really confident in the future, and to jump on what Elizabeth said with AI today and the language. So a woman in a small village can use a platform on her own language and can have answer based on her own context. And this is really powerful for inclusion. And the commitment we will do is to continue building solutions that are not only targeted for urban connected people. Because if a solution cannot work for a woman in a small village in Burkina Faso with no literacy, then we have not finished building yet. So we believe that inclusive finance is reaching people where they are and not where we wish they were.
So thank you very much to all of you for sharing this very concrete and beautiful stories and your insight about inclusive fintech. Thank you very much.
Thank you.